Good morning. So I am up Bell's Canyon. I've forgotten how rocky this canyon is. So I'm on the other side of Lone Peak where I normally hike. Normally I'm on the south side of the mountain. This is more the north side of Lone Peak. And let's see, the last time I was up here was like over a year ago. I joked that that was when I dropped my phone at 11,000 feet because I had it in my back pocket and made a little jump and it fell out and broke, which is sad, so I dropped it at 11,000 feet. I was trying to get to the peak from Bell's Canyon. A lot of people will hike this up to the lower falls or just even up around the reservoir. A lot of people don't know that there is a second reservoir up at the top with a dam that they've kind of deconstructed. It gets really, really pretty, just like Lone Peak up at the top. Although this side is a lot more forested and covered with brush and has a lot more rocks. So it's just kind of a different area. The trail on this side also doesn't go all the way up to the top. You have to free trail it, go off trail for a little while. So it's a nice, pretty hike. I started at 6 a.m. this morning. I'm probably like 3 miles in. I don't know what my elevation changes, but it'll be about the same as Lone Peak on the other side. So yeah. This morning my mind is a little hazy and my stomach's a little upset. I haven't been very good the last couple of weeks. 2 weeks or so I've been struggling with a little bit more depression than I normally do. And the last couple of days I've had some kind of like stomach thing. I think I ate some bad pork or something that we had in the fridge. And it really upset my stomach the other day. I had to go home from work a few hours early. I ended up sleeping that day, but yeah, depression's not fun. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about. One of the things that I had decided when I first discovered I had depression was that I would be more open about it with people and let them know that I did have depression, just because so many times I had heard that people don't talk about it and then they end up like internalizing it too much. And so I've had a lot of good conversations with people in regards to depression whenever I tell them that I have depression, and then they are oftentimes able to tell me that they do as well, which is kind of fun having those conversations with people, seeing how they deal with it. So I wanted to ask you guys, how you guys, if you have depression, deal with it. What kinds of things have you found helpful for you? Now for me, I was taking medication. I'm not on medication anymore. I have found that having a structured lifestyle, aka consistent work, and people around me that support me, that helps. So being able to work has been really nice. It keeps me busy, keeps my mind occupied. But then, of course, all the time there are bad days where I don't always feel very good, but I still go to work and I end up being able to push through it. Because you have to remember, depression is oftentimes a chemical imbalance in your mind. Another thing that I have found helpful is eating healthy. I am probably underweight for how active I am, and by eating more, I gain more protein in my system and the nutrients that I need, and so my body's able to use those things. I feel like the last couple days or weeks or so, well, like last couple days, I went on a run not too long ago. I think I pushed my body a little too hard, and I think it was having trouble recovering from that run because I felt like my blood sugar levels were constantly low. Like I wanted to intake sugar. But I didn't change anything with my diet. I just kept eating, normal foods, normal amounts. But I have been eating a little bit more each meal, which doesn't always help, but it seems to be okay for depression and how active I am. But so let me know in the comments down below what you guys have found to be helpful with your depression. Now, when I first I remember before I had depression, I remember thinking to myself, oh, depression, I'll never have depression. I'm a happy person. But when I was in school, I had some more freedom and my life changed. I had a baby, I got married, all those things. I was kind of having like a midlife, 1/4 life crisis where I was starting to get more responsibility in my life. And I think that was kind of what pushed me over. I also had a failed business and split with a partner that put me down. So there are always other things that can get you, but you just have to keep moving forward. I still have negative feelings sometimes with what happened. I regret not finishing school, but I'm in a good place now where I'm at, working at Big 5, going on hikes like this, and different things like that. So I don't know, it's been a journey, definitely a hard one. Speaking of challenges and the journey, there's a question I've been asking people at work, and I want to pose the question here, and that is, what is the hardest thing that you have ever had to do, to endure, to ever go through? I'm sure there are a lot of people who have gone through a lot of really traumatizing things. I wouldn't say I've had to do anything traumatizing, but I have had my fair share of challenges. So, what are some of your challenges? The hardest challenge that you've gone through? I would say that having to go do like hikes like these have been really challenging. I asked my mom this question, and she brought up the time we went up Lone Peak. We backpacked up there, and it was a hard journey just because my mom and sister and my dad's not in best shape either. They're not very fast with hiking, and didn't help that we had our packs and that there was all the weight that we were carrying. Yeah, so that was what she said was one of the hardest things for her. For me, honestly, the hiking and stuff isn't that challenging. I mean, it is in the moment, but it's very rewarding. So the reward outweighs the challenge. The most difficult thing for me has been my depression. Specifically, when I was in school and in the time when I dropped out of school and I didn't know what I was going to do and stuff. That was a really hard time just because I felt somewhat alone, although I knew I had my family. I felt like things weren't going the way that I wanted them to, the way that other people wanted it to go for me. I felt I can't think of the word right now. I've used it in the past. If I think of it, I'll let you know what I was thinking. But it was hard because it was just, I didn't know what was going on with the depression, and I was always so sad, and I just had that hurting feeling inside, and I had a lot of high anxiety during that period of time too, and I think that was what made it the worst. was the anxiety, because I would have these panic attacks where something wouldn't go right and everything else seemed like it was crumbling underneath me and I didn't know what to do. And so oftentimes I would just kind of give up, which was, I mean, okay in the moment to give up, because that means that I didn't have to think about it, but not necessarily good for those around me. So yeah, that's the most difficult time period that I had to deal with, and it's not fun. So my advice for those that have depression is to be open about it, talk to other people about it, and to seek help where needed. I did some counseling, I got some medicine, and that helped balance me out until I could get my feet back on the floor. Nowadays, with the depression, it's more of just like a physical pressure in my chest with some anxiety coming out every once in a while. I'm almost to the dam at the top, second lake, upper reservoir. I'm 2.5 hours in, and how far have I gone? 4.6 miles, I guess. One of the reasons why I'm hiking this today on Monday, I don't know actually what the date is, like the 17th or something like that. Today is one of probably the last good warm days of the summer. Well, before fall really hits. It's September, I guess, but so it's technically fall now. The temperature's already dropped and we've gotten a lot of rain, and I expect that it's not going to be really warm anymore for us. So I decided to get up here today and go up Lone Peak on the opposite side on Bell's Canyon route. Oh look, some trash. Let's pick that up. Yeah, so it's been a good summer of hiking Lone Peak. I got up here a couple times. I'm going to actually put together a blog post about the summer with a link to all the videos so that I can talk about the experience so far all summer. Let's see, where's the trail go from here? I think it goes this way. So you'll be able to find that in the description, and read about all of it, about my timing and all those things, PRs and my challenges and things like that. So check that out in the description below. I'm almost there. It's a big log. So this wind is really making me not want to go up to the peak. It's kind of cold, but I will go around the lake. Maybe when I get, I don't know, I'll think about it as I go around if I want to go all the way to the top, because I know it's like quite another ways up there, because this is the last part of where the trail ends here. There's no more trail. I'm basically bushwhacking it at this point, although it is pretty clear. There's not a lot of debris or anything up once you get up there a ways, but I'll think about it here for a second. I'm kind of thinking I'll just go home because I'm not really feeling it today. It has been a fun journey so far. About 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40 minutes to the top of the lake. Windy and it's cold, so I'm gonna head out. Yeah, we're around the lake. It's really cold. So, alright, here we go. I packed up my poles, got everything ready, so I can actually run down. So I might not video very much until I get down to the bottom. So, if you like this video, like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. And like I said earlier, comment below what kinds of things you're doing if you have depression to not be depressed as much or to work through it. So that would be an interesting thing to know about how you do it, and then interesting to share. So have a good one. I'll see you later. Stay cool, unlike me right now because it's so cold. And there you have it. I am done. I wanted one last thing. One last thing I wanted to tell you. I'm doing another 30-day challenge over on my other channel. I'm organizing the house, so if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing over there, you can check that out. Link in the description. Basically taking 30 days to organize a bunch of things in the house, like the basement, my room, the bathroom, stuff like that, reorganize, clean, and actually move into the spaces where I'm like adding more shelves and renovating and things like that. So go check it out. See you guys later.